Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are keeping fine, children, and taking good care of yourself. Children, today I am sending you video is based on chapter 7b from your geography book, and the chapter is the study of continents Australia and Antarctica. Children, we have already completed this chapter, and this is a quick revision session because this chapter will be coming for your third term examination. Children, while going through this chapter, we will you have to learn all the learning terms here, as I have already discussed in the class, that you will take the learning terms like artesian well, inland drainage, coral, iceberg, glaciers, Dakshin Gangotri, Southern Ocean, blizzard, krill, plankton, invertebrate, and flora. Children, not only from this chapter, but chapter which is I am giving all three sections of chapter 7, that is A, B, and C. You have to learn everything. Now, children, while going through the chapter, you will come to know about the location of Australia, climate, vegetations, a way of human activities, way of living, everything. All fauna and flora you will come to know while going through this chapter. Children, one thing I just want to tell you, that while taking your oral examination based on chapter 7, I felt that many of you have not learnt your chapter. Children, don't think that online classes you can see the book and do the test. But children, if you appear for a final examination, then you will face lot of problem. So children, it's better to learn the chapter. Now I'll start with Australia. As you know, children, in your book, it is mentioned that Australia is the smallest of all the world, all the continents. And all continents are large islands, and Australia is no exception in this regard. This is the fact that the only country in the world which occupies a whole continent. Due to this, Australia is called an island continent because, children, it is surrounded by the water bodies, as you have seen. Now, children, we will take a look of main features of Australia. Here it is written that location is in the southern hemisphere. Some where while going through the other chapters, we saw that some of the continents are located both in northern and southern hemisphere, but when we talk about Australia, this is completely in southern hemisphere. The latitude is 100 degrees 10 degrees south to 44 degrees south, and longitude is 112 degrees east to 154 degrees east. Area is 77 lakh square meter, and population is 23.6 million. The highest point is Mount Kosciuszko, that is 2,234 meters, and national capital is Canberra. And the largest city is Sydney, which is most important. And two main rivers of Australia is Murray and Darling, and mountain range is Great Dividing Range, and the main lake is Lake Eyre. Crop is wheat and oats. Chief towns are Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Darwin, and children Brisbane. So children, here when you are reading going through the chapter, please go through this part also. Now, when was Australia discovered? For at least 40,000 years before European settlement in the late 18th century, Australia was inhabited by indigenous Australians known as Aborigines, who belonged to one or more of the roughly 250 language groups. Captain James Cook discovered Australia in 1770. Captain Cook was an English seaman. He landed near the site of the present day Sydney Harbour. He named this land after his homeland, the New South Wales. So, children, here is the founder of Australia. Australia is divided into total of 6 self-governing states. There are 6 self-governing states and 2 certainly administrative territories. Now, when you look at the map, you will see the features here. It is given in your book also. South Australia, Northern Territories, all that Western and Eastern territories. So, children, Here, when you look at the map of Australia and find out the largest and the smallest state, find out the name of the state capital that you have to learn, children. Now, when we take the first part is the Western Plateau. When we talk about the Western Plateau, so the western part is this side, children. So, Western Plateau. When we talk about the western part of Australia is a vast plateau which covers nearly two-thirds of the continent. Means when you divide into three parts, so two-third part is covered with the plateau. It includes three states of Western Australia, Northern Territory, and South Australia. The average height is about 350 meters above sea level. Darling, that I told you, the river Darling, McDonald, Musgrave ranges rise above the plateau. Now, children, here when we see, here is also you can see the picture of Ayers rock, that is plateau type of thing place. Now, children, when we come to another point, the most important point, the next one is the central lowland. The center part of the, when you see the map, you will see the central lowland. These lie between the western plateau and the eastern highland. It extends from the Gulf of Carpentaria in the north across the continent of south shore of Australia. The central lowland can be divided into three parts, children. These parts I will take one by one. First one is the Great Artesian Basin. The second one is the Lake Eyre Basin, and third is the Murray-Darling Basin. Murray-Darling, as you remember, is are the two important rivers of Australia. Now, when we take the first one, the Great Artesian Basin, it is the largest and deepest artesian basin in the world, covering a total of 1 lakh 1,711,000 square kilometer. The region is famous for undergrowth water. The water are often hot and has high salt content. It is very useful for cattle rearing. This word cattle rearing often comes, children, in your book. Now, next is the Lake Eyre Basin. This basin lies in the middle of the southern lowland. Most of the rivers which flow through this lowland are not able to reach the sea and fall in inland lake. Thus, a great part of central lowland around Lake Eyre is a region of inland drainage. Due to very scanty, that means very less rainfall, much of the lowland are very dry. Fortunately, some water are obtained from artesian wells. Now, third part is, children, the Murray-Darling Basin. Murray-Darling Basin of Australia is formed by two most largest river of Australia, that is Murray and Darling. Murray-Darling Basin in Australia's most important agricultural region, because, children, why it is important for agriculture? Because water supply can be done from here. Region which produces rice, oilseed, wool, cotton, dairy product, fruit, vegetable, etc. For both domestic and overseas. Overseas means for trade process, and also for the use for family use, domestic use. Then come the Eastern Highland. The Eastern Highland extends almost parallel to the eastern coast of Australia. Now, these highlands are a series of elevated plateaus. The area is hilly in the north and the mountainous in the south. The higher part of the highland form the Great Dividing Range. Now, children, this range poses difficulty for the people moving from the coastal area. As you see, children, in the map, this is Great Dividing Range. So, people who are coming from the coastal region, if they want to travel in the center part, they find very difficulty in crossing this Great Dividing Range. Children, I have done till here. Next class, I will continue the chapter. And children, please go through the chapter and learn well. You have got only 3 lessons to learn. So, children, learn well so that you can achieve good marks. Thank you, children. Have a great day.